I have to.
You got it.
Put some of those. All our events.
Okay, good.
Which are
A
that would
lot.
take up the whole time, right? All these events.
Exactly, yeah, you just
Sarah's got so much going on.
pick and choose.
Well,
Yeah, it's a
I'll
busy
try and pick
time.
the Wilson County stuff.
Well, those were all Wilson
They're all
County
Wilson
events.
County.
Yeah.
Was I thought that the discovery hunt, the scavenger hunt, where is
That's-
that at?
That's in all 4 counties.
Oh,
It's
okay.
online.
There's missions on all 4 counties.
Got it.
Yeah, that's
And then those that are related to the, like I
Yeah,
do
see,
the
there's
camping.
all the flood gauges.
free camping
Oh,
weekend.
wow,
We do that every
cool.
quarter.
So
I'm gonna learn a
Which
lot
comes
today.
along with the
Then,
cinema
yeah,
night. We
one of the
also
things I'll
make in
talk about.
conjunction with,
Good.
on that Saturday of every camping weekend
Mhm.
is Wilson County Trade Days.
Cool. Good deal. Great. Well, welcome back to another WCN Live here at the Wilson County News. My name is Kristen Weaver, Director of Operations, and today my guests are.
Derek Gaudlitz.
And Dominic Carvajal.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Been looking forward to this conversation. San Antonio River Authority is an important part of our community and involved in so many aspects of the community. So we're going to learn a lot today. I just know it. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, which is OBR Metal Buildings and Components, where you can, basically they have like everything you need under one roof. Did you know that? For like small to big projects even. So OBR Metal Buildings and Components is located on Highway 181 here in Floresville, and you can learn more about them if you don't stop by and visit. You can also find them online at obrmbc.com. Thank you so much for your sponsorship of WCN Live, and we really appreciate that. So, all right, wow, lots of watchers so far this morning. That's exciting. And, well, let's go ahead and get into our... Before I get started, I almost missed this. You
Yep.
caught me. Let's draw a winner. So reminding all of you as you're joining to please post a comment. You can say hi, you can ask a question, and we'll follow along and try to answer those as best we can. And your name will get into next week's drawing. So today we have a winner.
Sharon Screech Pullman.
Sharon Pullman. Congratulations, Sharon. You're one of our loyal watchers. And yes, my little spell check changed her name. I apologize for that. I hate it when it does that. But Sharon, forgive me. She'll be watching here in a moment. I know she'll post a comment and she'll probably ask a question. But Sharon wins a C Street gift shop goodie bag. So we'll get that to you later. All right. So let's go back to, and let's have some introductions here. Tell us a little bit about each of you.
Okay, well, Derek Gaudlitz, and I'm currently the chairman of the board for the San Antonio River Authority. Been a board member for the last 4, working our 5th year, and I'm on my 2nd term.
And Dominic Carvajal. I'm one of the board members for Wilson County. There are 2 of us, Derek and myself. And I came on in December of 2021. So I'm working on my 5th year.
Wow.
And our board consists of 12 directors. There's
Okay.
6 from Bear, and then 2 from each of our other 3 counties: Wilson, Karnes, and Goliad.
Great. Wow. Such a broad-reaching organizations I've had on lately that cover more than just Wilson County, but do so much for us. And in addition, why don't you share a little bit about, we know each of you in our communities. Derek, you have a business here, so
Yep,
tell us about that.
My business, Freedom Mowing, that I started after I retired from the Army
Right.
in 2014, and I've been doing that
And
nonstop.
been around here
And
since
I
then,
just
right?
stepped down as the commander of the American Legion
Oh, wow.
a little over a year ago, after 10 years of
Yeah.
serving in leadership roles there, and
Very
yeah,
active.
very active in the
Very
community.
active. Cool. And Dominic?
I've got a little law firm here in town. I've been practicing now for 34 years.
Wow.
I've worked at a lot of
Impressive.
places.
Mhm.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm still practicing.
Are you native Floresville?
Am I?
You're from Floresville,
Oh yeah,
right?
born and raised here in
Yeah.
Floresville.
Mhm.
Yeah, I graduated from high
Sure.
school here.
Sure are. Cool. Well, that's great. So very active community members on this board. Well, let's talk about then what your roles are a little bit more for the San Antonio River Authority.
Okay, well, as I said, I just took over in January as the chairman. So we've now kind of balancing all that and having trying to herd the cats at our board meetings. If you've ever watched any of the boards that meet locally,
Yeah. Can be like that.
it's not always easy. But we have
Yeah.
we have a great group that gets along really, really well. So it's been very enjoyable to lead them to be elevated that position.
Nice. And Dominic?
What was the
Your role?
question?
The role, your role
my
on the
role.
board.
Well, my
and
role,
anything that you mentioned.
As a board member, obviously attend the meetings and provide input and governing the San Antonio River Authority. Our job is to approve projects, ensure that that the authority is operating within its mission and within its budget.
And using our finances properly and not being wasteful and then looking out and for both of us it's looking out for the interests of Wilson County, making sure that our community's voices are heard on the projects and on the different initiatives and everything that the River Authority is doing.
Cool. And I'm going to throw this out there, but what was your interest in serving on this board?
Well, actually, we just had that conversation, and I guess I'm going to have to tell on myself. So, two of my former they're friends and classmates, Daryl Brownlow, who was the one that was the chairman, and then John Fleer, approached me when John was going to step down. He'd been on the board for 14 years, and approached me about getting on the board. And I have to admit, I knew very little about the River Authority. So, but I didn't agree right away. I studied it a little bit, and I thought, yeah, I think this is something that would be interesting, and that I could bring, some of my experience to.
Yeah.
So for me, I was the same thing 5 years ago. I knew nothing about them other than we paid them taxes, and you didn't even notice it because it was only $10 or $20 out of your annual tax bill. But I was running for county commissioner back in 2020, and after they redistrict, I got redistricted out of precinct 4 and into 1. Okay. The board chair at that time, Daryl Brunlow, he stepped down, and they had to find someone to backfill his term, the rest of his term. Okay. So I got appointed by the governor. I was asked if I'd like to serve on the board, and I said I know nothing about them. Let me do some research, and looked them up and found out that we do a lot of engineering, which I'm an engineer, so I love building stuff, and then we do a lot of great stuff for the community and with our parks and everything else, so which I'm sure we'll talk about more. Yeah. So it's been a ride, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's just a great, fantastic group of people that work on the River Authority full time, and a great board of directors that gets along and makes decisions that are best for the mission that we have, and not just for their own personal interests.
Yeah, I would say it's a very well organized group.
Yes.
And organization from my standpoint too. I could agree with that. So let's talk about the overview and mission of the River Authority. What would you say about that?
Well, I mean, our main mission is to protect the people and property, preserve natural resources, and provide safe, enjoyable access to the creeks and rivers. And we do that through flood risk reduction. So one of our big tasks we're working on right now is installing gauges for flood protection, not just in Bexar County, but throughout all of our area of responsibility. And we also work on water quality, lands conservation, and our parks. We have some of the best parks in the area. So
You do. Would you have anything to add? That was his point, huh?
Yeah, and yeah, we'll just leave that. I agree with what he said. We have a lot going on. There are a lot of projects, and he referenced I think Next Gen, which we'll get into more about part of what we do in terms of providing safe access, safety for for our area, the watershed area.
Cool. Let me just give some shout outs here. Thanks for watching, and good morning to you, Lauren. And Andrea's watching. Very cool, from California. Neat. Mike Monreal says, howdy, Derek. Sherry Mabe, good morning. Rosemary Martinez says, need to clean more SA River. Okay, so those are our comments so far. I think we could all agree with that. Yep. And that is the goal here. And, I thought it was a very appropriate subject to use for the video today, that providing safe, clean, and enjoyable creeks and rivers. It's like, yeah, and I think that's what you're trying to do for sure.
Yep.
So next point here is to talk about your upcoming programs, community engagement.
Okay, so and I don't know if you caught part of this earlier too, we have a lot of programs going on, and sometimes in multiple locations. And I'll just run through a couple of them. Spring and early summer of this year, April 17th and 26th, we have the Discovery Hunt. It's a spring 2026 scavenger hunt with prizes, and apparently that's throughout our watershed area.
It's a digital scavenger hunt.
Right.
So
Okay.
you download an app and you go take pictures and stuff like that and
Fun.
upload them.
We have on April 24th and 27th, the City Nature Challenge. It's a citizen science challenge across San Antonio and surrounding areas. May 15th is Friday night hike at Helton Park from 8:30 to 9:30. June 5th to 7th, free camping weekend again at Helton Park. That same night, I guess the beginning that Friday night from 8 to 10, we have a cinema night that's also free at Helton.
Oh.
Weather permitting, I think the last time around we had to cancel that because of, was it rain? I guess, did we actually get rain? It was wind. It was the wind. We had a windstorm. And then June 27th, we have a disc golf tournament at the Greytown Disc Golf Course.
Those are all in my backyard, have to say. I'm always passing to go to church down the road and seeing people on Sunday out there at that course
Mhm.
Yeah.
doing that. So.
Greytown.
Greytown, yeah. So pretty cool. Was there more? I didn't mean to interrupt.
We have a lot of, and my talking points here, we have a lot of community events and outdoor recreation programs at the local parks here, Helton, the
Jackson.
Greytown,
I was wondering
Jackson
about
Nature
Jackson.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and all of this information is available on our website online. So if anybody's interested, they can just go
Yeah.
there and look, and there's always something going on.
Yeah. Our Facebook
that
is
Sarah
really
sponsors.
active as well.
Yeah,
so
it
we have a
is.
great team that maintains and updates all that.
Yeah, so the website, because I did make a mention here, and sometimes, you can't remember the exact. It's easy to Google it, but sariverauthority.org, and then Facebook is at San Antonio River, so, and tagged as well in our description today, so you can find it easily. And some more comments here. Keep up the good work, says Richard Good. Rosemary's, she had said something earlier. Alyssa's watching. Angela, thanks for watching. Jessica Rodriguez Green says, go Derek Gaudlitz, always serving the community. It's got all these
Thanks,
cheerleaders
Jessica.
today. Cool. And Chelsea says, love the trail through town. Okay. Now, are you talking about the hike and bike trail, Chelsea? And that is
That's
not
not
part
of
of
ours. No,
the
that's,
River Authority.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
bigger
It is.
county and city
It is.
initiatives. But
It
that
does
being
connect
but
to.
that being said, I mean, part of what
Sure.
we're working on is connecting is the expanding the Riverwalk all the way to the headwaters at UIW, and so we've right now, of course, we did the Mission Reach, we've done the museum reach, and the last piece is the going through Brackenridge Park up to the headwaters, and that's our next for the River Authority big project is to finish that. So then you could walk from
Right.
the
right.
grotto all the way down to the end of the mission. And we'd love to see it continued on down into the counties in the future.
Right.
So that's kind of a vision.
That's a
to,
concept, yeah.
Yeah,
that
to
maybe
continue
connect
that
those.
walk and hike and bike trail all the way down.
Wow, good. Well, even more comments. I have to keep everybody, connected here. Janet Martin says, good morning. Aaron Gaudlitz says, that's my dad. Woo!
He's in Germany, so
Oh, wow. Hi, Aaron from Germany. Sweet. We get watchers from all over, California, Germany, Texas. Lauren says, love the new exercise equipment at Helton. Yeah, I got
That's
to see
right.
that. We took prom pictures out there, which is a beautiful place for
Awesome.
that. Any kind of photos that you need to take, graduation, whatever. We did that a few years ago for Julia. And I saw the exercise equipment. Pretty impressive.
and we'll also be by next year we should have all of Helton paved. So all the dirt
Wow.
roads that
Oh my
went to the equipment,
Mhm.
it was a three-year
Yeah.
project, and we got the down by the river paved last year. They're supposed to have done it this month or last month, a next segment up to the exercise equipment,
Yeah.
and the rest of the loop next year. So So for all of our car club people out there who were
Yeah.
complaining about the dust and everything,
Oh,
by next year, when you come to our big event down there
yeah.
in the summer, then your cars will get to stay nice and clean when they drive in.
Oh goodness. And more comments. Great. Keep them coming, guys. Jessica says, great vision. And Nicole frets, good morning to you. And then, not sure, Guten Tag from Tejas. Jessica says. Help me
Guten
there.
Tag.
Okay, thank you. All right, over my head. Let's see. So part of San Antonio River Authority's role is providing flood safety. And wow, what a topic we're on right now, right?
Yes.
It's a very timely topic. So tell us about those. Wow, you have a lot of resources. Next Gen Flood Warning System and wilsonflood.org.
Yeah. So the as part of after of course the devastating floods last year, and we everybody
Floods
knows
are
about what happened in Kerrville, but we also
Yeah.
the month before that we had a flood that killed people in Bexar County,
Yeah.
right there at the 410-35 interchange in the northeast side,
I remember that.
where the water just flooded. It came up, the river was running along it, and it actually crossed its banks in the dark, and people just driving down the access road
Yeah.
got swept into it and pulled downstream
Right.
and lost their lives. So the initiative, the city of San Antonio and Bexar County have allocated funds and have asked the San Antonio River Authority to basically become the overarching authority on all of the gauges. So there was multiple organizations that had gauges and monitoring and different
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
And so under the initiative, we were able to take overall authority on that. So one, making sure they're all working, checking them, installing passive gauge stop measures to alert people that there's floodwaters in the dark. So there's, and we have got, I think we're over 90% now of all of them are working in Bexar County.
Okay.
But with that, we also started an initiative to install gauges in our downstream at high-risk points, river crossings throughout the other three counties. Our first one we installed was up near Zoll Crossing, up on the very, very tippy-top north point of the county.
Yeah.
And so, like, I've got right now, so Wilson Flood is just for our county.
Okay.
But there's if you go to bearflood.org, it has all four counties.
Okay.
And like here you can see all of the gauges that you can see how many of them are currently shut
I'm
down.
going to take it up closer
So-
so they can see. This is something that we can all access.
And yes, it's open to the public, and all this data is being pushed into Waze and into Google Maps. So when you're driving, it is actively
Yes.
being updated
Okay.
in live time to
Okay.
let you know that there is a closure there, that the road is
That's
impassable.
good.
So if you're
Wow.
driving down, if you're using your digital maps, it will help you let you know stop if you're using those
Right.
two right now.
Wow.
But additionally, you can sign up for alerts. So you can go to that website, go to Wilson Flood or bearflood.org, and you can sign up, and you can put on there, like I've gone and put those crossings that affect me and or our county, and I have an alert set. So the other night, Saturday, when all the rain started up north in Seguin and everything, and the Cibolo Creek started to rise, I was getting the alerts that okay, this crossing is shut. We've got flood warnings coming in for the Cibolo. So it is very helpful, and we've got 3 gauges. One's already installed. 2 more will be installed this year, this fiscal year, and then we'll be implementing more and more as time goes on. And we met with all the commissioners and the county staff to identify those high risk areas and try to make sure that we covering all the areas, so that our people are protected and kept safe. We've never had, as far as we know, we've never had a death due to floods and cars running off the roads during floods, and we want to keep it that way for Wilson County.
Well, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and it's a rollout for all 4 counties.
Yeah.
And I think we have 2 or 3. I think you mentioned
Yeah.
that are installed here in Wilson. Was there 1 or 2 in Carnes?
It's 3. I think it's
Total?
It's no, it's 2 for us, 3 for Carnes, and
Carnes.
2 for Goliad this year. and we've got one in each county already installed.
There'll be
Amazing.
more depending on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the data.
That's incredible, guys.
So-
You didn't know what you were getting into.
Nope.
Literally, when you started
Yeah,
on
well,
this board.
and Next Gen is new, and Derek gave you the history on
Yeah.
it. And I think the idea being that the county, San Antonio River Authority, but the city of San Antonio and Bear County were able to respond to this problem quickly, as opposed to coming in and creating infrastructure that would have cost more money
Right.
and taken a lot longer. So now, within months, literally, they were able to get a plan and start executing on that plan, and so that's part of it. We're rolling it out.
Definitely. Wow. I hear like a follow-up story in the Wilson County News on that for sure. I will be talking to Nanette about this. Well, good. Let's move on to the next topic then. Strategic plan. What is San Antonio River Authority's strategic plan, and how does this affect us in Wilson County?
We have a 5-year. We work off of a 5-year strategic plan. So any of our military folks out there know, we have a long term, and we the things we do within that are to support that strategic plan. So our focus is on safety, conservation, and on community access. Those are our big pillars. We want to make sure the water is safe. We're actually going to have a swimming event in Bear County for the first time this year, if everything works out well. It's been approved, but more access to the river, to the community. Trying to encourage the community to come out to engage with our resources that we have. They're just wonderful and beautiful, like our parks. So we've been improving our parks. We've got a couple big ones, True Heart in Bear County, but it's not far from here. It's in South Bear County, and it's a short drive from here. And it's just doing it. It's a 200 acre, I think, or 300 acre, and there's a dam there that we're going to be renovating through a Parks and Wildlife grant, and to allow fish passage back up and down. And it is incredible park. But ours, of course, I love Helton. Helton's my favorite because it's around the corner from me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it had just been opened about the time we moved here, 15 years ago.
Yeah. It's really
And so,
developed rapidly.
so we just keep improving, like I
Yeah.
said, with the roads, the parks. Jackson, we're going to install. Jackson's a very rustic park. It's got nature trails, but I think we're going to put in a bathroom or a building or some small structure there for people.
A little bit of amenities.
Yes. So we're trying to improve the amenities at all our parks, little by little. It's part of our strategic plan. So
That's fantastic. All right. Well, is there anything we may have left out? Any last minute items? Because we're kind of at the point of where we go to learn more information, which will remind them about our website, your website and Facebook and all of that. Oh, I know this was popping up in my head, but y'all have done hazardous waste events?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, those
Yeah.
are a big thing.
Yes.
You want to talk about
Twice
that a
a
little
year.
bit?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, the twice a year.
Yeah, we do it.
You
We do it in the
just had
spring
one.
and we do it in the fall.
Okay.
And the purpose of that and the goal of that
Yeah.
was to reduce people dumping stuff, putting things into the landfills or into the trash or into the river
Yeah.
that they shouldn't.
Right.
Like tires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we collect tires, old electronics, chemicals, old medicines and stuff like that.
Right.
And we've been having it at the show barn for the last few years, and it's worked out really good.
Great.
The county commissioners take turns who runs it, but they assist and they run the tire portion of it. We pay contractors to collect the rest
Right.
and dispose of it properly.
Great.
And we had over 700 people come through in the fall. And it was our biggest collection event ever.
Wow.
And if you were out there, it was full up until we closed it, because it's always from 8 to 12.
Yeah.
People will show up at 6 in the
Yeah.
morning and start waiting
get
and get in
ready.
line. And people that time when people came in at just before noon, before we shut it off, it was still completely full. The lines were typically, by that point, you
Yeah.
just drive in and you drive out. But
Wow. Well, that's good. And those are held also in the different communities outside of Wilson County, like the areas you
Wilson,
serve.
Carnes, and Goliad each have
great.
2 each year. So
That's great. So we've already had the one in the spring, so there will be one in the fall that we
Yes.
can make use of this
If
for the
it's
rest of this year.
October.
Yeah, we just had
Yeah.
one in March, I was at that one. It was
Yeah.
well attended. We were really
Yeah.
busy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right. So, and yeah, I was thinking that too, Lauren. There is a photography contest, River Clicks, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So that's still ongoing right now. The contest is still open.
And I think it goes through May if usually.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the neat thing is that our county will have the submission. We will pick usually each county has a winner. So in addition to all the other different themes and categories you can
Right.
compete in, but those pictures, the winners, will get a huge print done, and it'll be hung in the Whitty Museum for like
beautiful.
several months. And then when that's
on
over,
exhibit.
when that display shuts down, then they get to take home, and there's a lot of great prizes too for that. So if you're an aspiring photographer or you have a camera on your phone, and you see something just
Right.
pretty with the parks, with the river, snap a picture, submit it. You just never know. I
right.
judged last year, and there was so many good pictures, and
bet.
a lot of them were just taken with the cell phone pictures,
Sure.
and
That's
and
great.
amazing.
So I assume we can just go to sariverauthority.org and find it pretty easily.
Yep, or the Facebook page
Or the
at San
Facebook
Antonio River.
Right. So that's how you learn more. Anything else outside of that?
No.
We got it covered. I think.
I think
That
we
was
hit
pretty
everything.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did a really good job there, and I think we learned a lot today. Very fascinating. Great update from the San Antonio River Authority. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate that. And thank all of you for watching and for your great feedback today. It's been fun to say hi to you and see your names and everything and answer your questions. So that's been great. Be sure to share this video. As someone said here earlier, yes, thank you. This is great information. So I agree. And to wrap it up, I'd like to thank our sponsor of WCN Live today, OBR Metal Buildings and Components, where they have everything you need under one roof. I understand from small projects to very large projects, and that they will help and give you guidance on that. So that is fantastic. OBR is a wonderful community supporter too. They're located on Highway 181 in Floresville, and you can learn more about them at obrmbc.com. So, well, thank you all again.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Kristen.
you very much.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks so much. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. We'll be here at 10 a.m.
See you down on the river.
Yeah.
One thing I